take off your sunglasses and look at the goddamn situation here. I have a human house. Go ahead. You can't even fucking shoot me. See that?
Welcome everyone to another day of bringing variety back to Darktide. So I've been quietly plugging away and watching the community's response to the Hive Ganger. As predicted, I knew survivability would be a problem for many while they are adjusting and learning the class. In this video, I will show you some survivability tips and a strong build with a high win rate in my Havocs. My channel here is about variety in Darktide, so we are going to use a weapon on the Ganger I haven't seen picked up much, which is the Mark III Shivs, the cleave variant of the daggers. I play with these a bit in the test servers before the Hive Scum's release. At first, I dismissed them after trying out the other mark, but I gave them some time and learned them slowly and will show you the strengths this weapon has and how it synergizes well with the survivability in Scum's skill tree. Alright, before I show you the build, I just want to show you some mixed Horde gameplay here. So just me by myself in the Psychanium. This is Havoc 40 breakpoints, Havoc 40 everything. When I start off here, I engage. We're just using Rampage. No stim or grenade or anything else, right? So just movement and attacking with the weapons. Notice I am not taking very much damage using only movement. I made sure that this was very sloppy. So I recorded this sitting on my couch with my mouse on my couch arm. Almost no way to aim very well. To show you just casually playing very sloppily, you can still survive very well, even with making mistakes with Hive Scum, as long as you know how Hive Scum works. So we're going to get into the synergies of the survivability nodes on the tree, and then I'm going to go over how you can adopt some of these tips into your playstyle to survive better and longer as Hive Scum. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys the build and then we'll get into some more tips for survivability after we do the build. So here is our shivs right here. We are dumping mobility because we want everything else. On the perks, so with the perks, it's a bit interesting. I chose flak here. Really, you could choose a number of things and it would still work, but because of how I play this build, I thought flak might be the best because I'm spreading around the damage and I'm moving around the battlefield a lot with this build. So I thought flak would be the best overall. Carapace could work well, unyielding could work well, and the stamina is for survivability and attack speed on our build. With the blessings, I chose Uncanny Strike and Riposte. I have a version of this build that I actually like better. I think Riposte and Precog together are amazing on this build. Just for ease of use for everyone, I went with Uncanny Strike. Uncanny Strike is a little bit weaker on this weapon than others because if it was full normal Uncanny Strike, it would be super insanity. It would be super OP. So we're going to get this Uncanny. We're weak spotting and getting Uncanny very quickly, fully stacked. So why I left it on here. But you could also try Precog as well. And you'll see why when I go over the tree, why these two work so well together. So for our range weapon, I went Bolt Pistol. I know, big surprise with me because I have a very aggressive playstyle and I like getting up in there, and the Bolt Pistol always helps with last minute threats, surprise threats. If you're caught out, pull this out, shoot, gives you a nice stagger, suppresses things, staggers, ranged. There's a whole host of reasons why this weapon is good. So I'm using the newer mark, the one with 7 bullets in its chamber or in its clip. I'm running flak and carapace. I usually run flak unyielding on this, but I brought carapace here just in case I need to spam into armor, which happens a decent amount depending on what's going on. With the bolt pistol, lethal proximity to give us extra explosion radius. It will stagger everything in front of you. And puncture helps with breakpoints on specials. So for the curios, we ran 1 stamina and 2 17% toughness. So with the perks here, I've been changing up a lot, but I've settled on this for this build. I think this is pretty solid. We are running 2 combat ability, 3 5% toughness, 1 corruption resistance, 1 gunner, and 2 revive speed. The corruption resistance will make sure that we are not one-shot by pox bursters at full health and toughness in Havoc. 1 gunners, I feel like 1 is usually enough. You can grab 2 here and just take out one of the revive speeds if you don't want some extra revive speed. I like having at least 2 of them. Helps a lot with clutch situations and a number of other things. All right, now onto the build. So start off with our melee damage. So Precision Violence. If we read this talent, melee hits replenish 4% toughness. Melee critical strikes and weak spot hits instead replenish 8%, and critical weak spot strikes replenish 12. How that synergizes with the shivs is because they attack super fast. And when you add attack speed to them, it's crazy. And you are going to be critting a lot because we have both riposte and this talent over here, which is basically riposte. You're gonna get 60-70% critical strike all the time with this build. We're gonna be critting a lot, we're gonna be weak spotting a lot, and we're hitting very fast. So that like checks every box for survivability here. With Untouchable, I think it synergizes well with this build because we are moving around the battlefield, peppering everything with damage. And we are sprinting and dodging a lot. This is a good one, in my opinion. You could easily take this just to get a little bit extra dodges with your ranged. But I think this is smart with this build. For the grenades, right here for Havoc games, chem grenades are insane right now. I mean, I don't know if they're going to get nerfed in the future, but they're very insane. There's almost no reason to not take these for a lot of builds. I mean, blinders have use cases, of course. The rocket launcher's okay right now, and I think it needs work. I wanted to make a Jinx style build, but it ruined my plans when this is kind of lackluster. If you found good use cases for this, let me know. I mean, there obviously is use cases for when you're stuck in quarters, getting yourself out. The rocket launcher can kill large amounts of maulers. It's not going to kill large amounts of crushers, but maulers it can do. I think one time I did like nine maulers that were grouped up in one shot. It was very cool. But I mean, this is very consistent and does lots of damage and has lots of uses. All right, moving on. Nimble is in the very center of the build. It's obvious why, because it's the centerpiece of Hive Scum. Nimble makes you nimble. And then coming down, grab Jittery, because this build is all about movement and moving around the battlefield. I think probably the most important node here, for this build at least, while sliding, gain melee attack immunity. Basically, when you're sliding, the way this node works, that you're in a dodge state when you're doing that. And what that means is that it can proc things like float like a butterfly, and riposte, and precognition, and other things on the tree, and blessings that are on dodge. They can be procced just by sliding with this node. Okay, and on to the auras. So, if you guys don't know, now they added this feature that you can easily switch your auras, or your grenades, or your ults if you have nodes accessing them, right? You can easily switch them. So, really look at your team's comp now. It's very easy to quickly change this for what you need. If you are in a group that has no veteran or anything like that. Oh, is ammo going to be a problem? Do they have a gun that uses a lot of ammo? Pick your ammo. Crits are very good on this build, so I choose crit. There's another Hive Scum running it. You can run Ruffian. So the Anarchist will stack with the Psyker's crit. Ruffian, I think, will stack with Ogryn's melee damage as well, so keep that in mind. All right, moving down to our ultimate, Rampage, of course. With Rampage, this node is going to keep it up way longer. It's a no-brainer to take this. The Cleave, this build's all about Cleave. You get Cleave and an extra benefit of more melee power. And Forge's Bellow. So this node is kind of like crazy good, in my opinion. It really helps with engaging, and it staggers everything. It puts heavy stagger on them, which, if you don't know, this node cheap shots, they said, are fully staggered. That means like heavy staggered, like they're on the ground. There is some caveats to that. For example, saw blades, when they're sawing, crowbars, they're in beak mode, will cause heavy stagger. Stunstorm grenades from Zealot can cause heavy stagger. Mines from Arby's, heavy stagger, etc. This one, so it shouts when you go into it and when you go out, and every time it's going to slow down the attack speeds of enemies. Very important when you're doing a build like this, where you're moving around the battlefield and dealing with a lot of stuff. We did not take the heavy attack rending because I haven't really got the feel too much for the heavy attacks on this weapon. I'll have to play with it some more. They are good. They're strong. Like if we look at the damage tables here, you do them pretty fast, and when you weak spot and weak spot crit, very good values. Because of how fast we're moving, light attacks just do so much better, in my opinion. Light attacks, push attacks, and push into heavies for the heavy armor. All right, let's start in the middle here, and then we'll branch out. These two nodes together are amazing survivability. If you get shot from ranged, you're gaining toughness, and you only lose the toughness regen when your toughness goes to 0. But this node synergizes with it well. Gain stun immunity for 6 seconds and restore 50% toughness when toughness is broken. Be aware though, if you take damage when your toughness is low, you're still going to take the health damage from that shot before this will kick in. Just be aware of that. These two work off each other and they're great survivability for when you get caught out. We didn't take the 15% damage versus elites and monstrosities, although this is a great node. I didn't think it was worth it in this build because we have to go down here and we get 15% damage from this, which will pretty much always be up anyway. Another cleave node matches with this, matches with the weapon perfectly, no brainer. So Hive City Brawler, if you don't know, this is 20% toughness damage reduction and health damage reduction. It works on both when you have stamina. And when you are lower on stamina, you will gain melee damage. So it's a win-win no matter what is happening. So hyper violence, because of the cleave in this build and the way that we are playing it, this is going to up our damage a lot. So it will carry over your overkill onto the next attack, and we are cleaving a bunch of low health enemies and then hitting elites. This is how we are adding more to our damage and our armor damage. Come over here, very great node. This gives you 2% attack speed for each stamina that you have. The Hive Scum class has 3 base stamina. The shivs give you 1 extra stamina. We have stamina on the weapon and we have a 3 stamina curio. So that is a lot of attack speed that we are getting, which is why it's worth it to go over to Swift Endurance. And then under that, we take the weak spot damage. We are hitting weak spots most of the time with this build. This is a very great node. I think it helps us out more than a lot of other damage ones in Reach. But if you are, say, running a Havoc that has Blight on it, the goo on the ground, just take this out and put it here. Yeah, you're going to get less damage, but you're going to be thankful that you have this in goo. Okay, so for Adrenaline Frenzy. So we didn't take any nodes under here, and I have looked at this. I rewatched all the Havoc footage of all the wins I got with this build. We don't need anything to help keep this up because of how fast these attack. So pretty much you're going to have this up all the time as long as there's enemies to attack. Even if there isn't enemies to attack, you gain it very fast just because of how naturally fast we are just by having all that stamina. Come over here, grab Coated Weaponry. We are critting pretty much all the time. Our crit, when everything is procs, around 60 to 70% crit. Everything's always going to be coated because of how fast we are, but this is going to pretty much always be up. And then Toxic Renewal synergizes perfectly with this build because of how fast we're attacking and how we are moving. They're going to be coated in Chem Toxin, and then we will kill them with our light attacks. So we're constantly going to be getting that toughness back. So with this, mixed with this, you should have almost no problem with survivability as long as you're in range. And that brings us to our Stim Lab. Of course, you customize this as you want, tailor it to you. This is how I was playing it and how I liked it. I make changes now and then, but this is very solid. So when you are caught out without anything, you will have replenished toughness and you will have damage reduction. So that's why we came up here. We only grabbed 2 cooldown, but this is enough because we have some cooldown in our curios as well. We aren't going to be waiting very long between ults. Then we grab all the attack speed because attack speed is king on this build. And the extra stamina cost, the negative stamina cost, really helps when you are exhausted from Rampage. So let's talk about that funny Trailer Park Boys clip from the beginning. So you can use things on the field as cover. You can use enemies, you can use your friendly Ogren, or I wouldn't say don't use your other players other than Ogren as cover, but maybe Arby's, but for that, so that's a tactic that you can use when things are going wrong. Sometimes you just need a second to deal with a threat. You need a second reprieve so you can go pop your ult, jump in, and deal with the thing that's shooting you. Because Reapers are going to be one of the most dangerous threats. Alright, so here we have 10 Ragers, and I'm going to show you I will take no damage from this. So what is going on here is that we are using that node that we were talking about earlier, the melee immune while you're sliding, to great advantage here when dealing with things like lots of Ragers, which are hard to evade. Alright, so now I just want to show you this works with overheads as well. Sorry, I had to I had to, like, you know, dodge right into them to get it to show it right. It's like 100% should have been hit by that if I didn't have that talent. All right, so here I got like 5 gunners, a shotgunner, 15 shooters, and some horde enemies. So I wanted to show you, just using your movement and melee, right? You can survive a lot. This is all Havoc 40. So what I did here was I used my side dodge a lot. So, you know, side dodge has a smaller movement speed penalty, right? And with nimble, you're going to move quite quick with that dodge. Dodge sliding goes very far, and you can use it to your advantage quite well. And as you can see, they were all spread out, shooting at me from different angles, but we barely took any damage. All right, so I showed you some examples with the survivability and melee. Let's just quickly talk about some of the ranged survivability nodes. I mean, this one is quite self-explanatory. It's very good. So this node right here is an interesting one. 25% toughness damage taken while reloading, and for 4 seconds afterwards. Basically, if you have a long reloading weapon, that's actually a boon to you. So it says while reloading, if you reload long, you have the toughness damage reduction for longer. And then you have 4 seconds afterwards. If you're reloading a lot and using your ranged weapon a lot, this is actually really worth. Okay, so let's come down to this node here. This is a survivability node in itself. I didn't take it on this. I didn't think that I really needed it, but there's some builds that would go great with this if you're like push attacking all the time, for example, is one use case. So this node synergizes perfectly well with a lot of stuff on the tree. It synergizes with this, it synergizes with this. So it synergizes with both of these, and it can help you in, for example, you have a demon host on you. More stamina, the longer you're going to live. And you will constantly get it by dodging the demon host. So that's why this node is good. Okay, so now let's talk about some of the nodes that we didn't choose that are still on the tree for you to use though. So targeted toxin. So this is a great node, and it would fit well in this build, but we didn't have the points for it, and I didn't think it necessary. So like the purpose of this build is kind of avoiding the damage. Of course, you're going to take damage eventually, and this node will absolutely help, but I didn't think we needed it. I think that this would have kept us alive more than this will. This is why we didn't take this, but if you have extra points and you're looking for like max survivability, you know, grab this node. And some of the other ones on this tree, I mean, this is going to be huge. If you have a stim lab that has a short cooldown, you grab dependency, you grab maxed out chems, you can have 20% extra toughness damage reduction, which is huge, which is going to match with this that is 40%. And then if you're like running ranged, I mean, you have this. I mean, it can add up. And then with a zealot book on your team or a shout, your survivability is going to be looking pretty good at that point. If some of these tips helped you, please like and subscribe and drop a comment on what you think of the class so far. See, this build is made to put lots of damage on large mixed horde and spread out groups using mobility. The idea is to kill everything around the armored enemies so you can focus them, making it easier for you and your team. If you want a more single target focus, switch the mark of the daggers and put some rending in the tree or stim lab. This has been a long one, so enjoy the gameplay and have a great day.
Abandoned for a long time.
I'm good, but I'm not good enough to fight through that sky fire zone. Relic working on Haven is disabled.
Proceed to hangar ventilation system X14. Additional instructions to follow.
Show's about to start. Let's hope the mutt-mutts are watching. Oh.
Security is currently in lockdown. Bypass to proceed.
Something feral approaches! I call the light! Prepare!
lost, Messiah.
You won't be the king!
You need to group together.
Med station if you're feeling shaky!
I deserve of not such noisome companions.
Preference blocked by unpowered unit. Can you guess what comes now?
Perish is dead! Fire bomber! Pieces everywhere! Look who's trying to be friendly!
The door is quite movable. You need to unseal it.
Arcadia!
Faster, let my presence be known. I shall not be found wanting. Hatred blindeth me.
Blows and tears!
Inter-Orbit Data Relay Station TRS-150 is a technological marvel. It deserves better.
Beauty's good and cooked! You can breathe! You can kill! Going for the Take kill!
Foxwalker, it's ready to blow. Enemy!
Don't eat anything!
Leave none alive!
Watch it!
You can line of sight.
Shoot that bastard!
Lock him up.
It shall be so! Yes!
we gotta go. Or fight him.
It's still slow ticking.
What am I doing down here?
Gird thyself and fight. That corruption was no shield.
I can dive in. Bring it over here. Drop the ammo crate. We got a second one. It's behind where the big stair is.
Captain's up behind.
Alright, follow me.
More corruption. The Ranger has fallen. Thy fury
I'm going up.
just grimly. Thy fire
Enemy!
very still sight.
Oi! No prancing around! Take the fight for them!
Accept thy lot. There is no fair fight against the heretic. Well, heretic.
Run! Let's be friends!
The feast is ended.
For the Emperor!
Rest, mutant. In death, thou art redeemed. I shall smite thee.
The sum of your parts is greater than the individual. In other words, group up.
Bring it up top.
Refuse tabs. Bottlenecks and hard shooting angles.
Trauma. Let's bring it back. We're gonna get that.
Inter-Orbit Data Relay Station TRS-150 reached.
need more ammo. Could I have some of yours?
Get your own! I'm saving mine for someone special!
Yeah? Who's that?
What haven't decided? Yes! I like and do it again!
Hey! Boss,
You cannot cross until you've destroyed the demonic matter.
Horsecrusher! Who's tornadoing it?
Metaphysical contagion in retreat.